Hey, everybody. Welcome to Reading the Bible to Cats. We have Stan and Ollie. Ollie, the two actors who are standing in for real kitties until I am able to employ real kitties. Ollie's full name, which he always wants me to speak out, is Ollie Benjamin Daniel Jonah. And I've been getting to know him a bit. He has quite an illustrious history. Um, and although he's quiet right now, he was quite chatty uh, before we turned the camera on. And he told me that ancestrally he's related to a very famous tiger from India who roamed the jungles there and protected the people in the nearby vicinities, and then also worked as a part-time actor. So that's what he was talking about just before we turned the camera on. And then Stan just wanted to say something too. Yeah. And so that's what Stan talks about. Okay, everybody. Until we have, thank you, Stan. Until we have real kitties, we've got these two actors. So I'm going to jump into or pounce on 2 Samuel chapter 17. And, I'm on the tail end of this cold. It's just driving me crazy because I still have it. It's annoying. Okay, 2 Samuel 17. I know some of you have colds too. And I know it's hard. Anyway, okay, 2 Samuel 17, which is, I'm sure, going to be quite dramatic. An ancient drama recorded here in the Bible. So let's just pounce on it. Ahithophel said to Absalom, I would choose 12,000 men and set out tonight in pursuit of David. I would attack him while he is weary and weak. I would strike him with terror, and then all the people with him will flee. I would strike down only the king and bring all the people back to you. The death of the man you seek will mean the return of all. All the people will be unharmed. This plan seemed good to Absalom and to all the elders of Israel. But Absalom said, Summon also Hushai the Archite so we can hear what he has to say as well. When Hushai came to him, Absalom said, Ahithophel has given this advice. Should we do what he says? If not, give us your opinion. Hushai replied to Absalom, The advice Ahithophel has given is not good this time. You know your father and his men. They are fighters, and as fierce as a wild bear robbed of her cubs. Besides, your father is an experienced fighter. He will not spend the night with the troops. Even now he is hidden in a cave or some other place. If he should attack your troops first, whoever hears about it will say, There has been a slaughter among the troops who follow Absalom. Then even the bravest soldier, whose heart is like the heart of a lion, will melt with fear, for all Israel knows that your father is a fighter and that those with him are brave. So I advise you, let all Israel from Dan to Beersheba, as numerous as the sand on the seashore, be gathered to you, with you yourself leading them into battle. Then we will attack him wherever he may be found, and we will fall on him as dew settles on the ground. Neither he nor any of his men will be left alive. If he withdraws into a city, then all Israel will bring ropes to that city and we will drag it down to the valley until not so much as a pebble is left. Absalom and all the men of Israel said, The advice of Hushai the Archite is better than that of Ahithophel, for the Lord had determined to frustrate the good advice of Ahithophel in order to bring disaster on Absalom. Hushai told Zadok and Abiathar the priests, Ahithophel has advised Absalom and the elders of Israel to do such and such, but I have advised them to do so and so. Now send a message at once and tell David, do not spend the night at the fords in the wilderness. Cross over without fail, or the king and all the people with him will be swallowed up. Jonathan and Ahimaaz, sorry everybody, it is I who's speaking, not the Bible. I can't pronounce this name. Take 2, verse 17. Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying at En Rogel. A female servant was to go and inform them, and they were to go and tell King David, for they could not risk being seen entering the city. But a young man saw them and told Absalom. So the two of them left at once and went to the house of a man in Baharim. He had a well in his courtyard, and they climbed down into it. His wife took a covering and spread it out over the opening of the well and scattered grain over it. No one knew anything about it. When Absalom's men came to the woman at the house, they asked, Where are Ahimaaz and Jonathan? The woman answered them, They crossed over the brook. The men searched, but found no one, so they returned to Jerusalem. After they had gone, the two climbed out of the well and went to inform King David. They said to him, Set out and cross the river at once. Ahithophel has advised such and such against you. So David and all the people with him set out and crossed the Jordan. By daybreak, no one was left who had not crossed the Jordan. When Ahithophel saw that his advice had not been followed, he saddled his donkey and set out for his house in his hometown. He put his house in order and then hanged himself. So he died and was buried in his father's tomb. David went to Mahanaim, and Absalom crossed the Jordan with all the men of Israel. Absalom had appointed Amasa over the army in place of Joab. Amasa was the son of Jether, an Ishmaelite, who had married Abigail, the daughter of Nahash and sister of Zeruiah, the mother of Joab. The Israelites and Absalom camped in the land of Gilead. When David came to Mahanaim, Shobi, son of Nahash from Rabbah of the Ammonites, and Machir, son of Amiel from Lo-debar, and Barzillai the Gileadite from Rogelim, brought bedding and bowls and articles of pottery. They also brought wheat and barley, flour and roasted grain, beans and lentils, honey and curds, sheep and cheese from cow's milk for David and his people to eat. For they said, The people have become exhausted and hungry and thirsty in the wilderness. Okay, everybody, that's the end of 2 Samuel chapter 17. And I was just, it's fun. It's kind of confusing because there's a heading that I didn't read before verse 24 that says Absalom's death, but then you read on and it does, and that I think he dies in the next chapter, not this section. Anyway, yeah, wouldn't it be terrible to have a son who just wants to kill you? Absalom, King David's son. You know, when Ahithophel is, giving his advice, it's pretty brutal. And then Hushai, is kind of a mole in the whole thing, and foils Ahithophel's plan. But in any case, it's like Absalom. He has no feeling for his father, and yet I know King David loves his son, but it's pretty cold, isn't it? Let's read an AI. I kind of like the AI overviews. So listen to this hold music while I scroll. Do 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 do. Okay, here it is. Okay, here's the AI overview of that chapter. I read it in the AI overviews, and I always get something out of them. But you can't always trust AI or the overviews, because you never know what's going to pop up or spring up when you're reading that's totally off base. So study everything for yourself, everybody. You don't know you know what the AI is culling from the entire internet. Okay, well, let's read and see. Commentaries on 2 Samuel 17 focus on the strategic council meeting between David's loyalist Hushai and his traitorous former counselor Ahithophel, who advised the usurper Absalom. Ahithophel proposes a swift and decisive attack, but Hushai suggests a long-term strategy that appeals to Absalom's vanity. The key takeaway is that God intentionally caused Absalom to reject sorry, everybody, I'm having a mental block with these names. Ahithophel's superior military counsel in favor of Hushai's flawed advice to bring about his downfall, demonstrating divine providence working through human action. Okay, that was a mouthful. The plan. Ahithophel's plan was militarily superior, involving a swift attack by an elite force of 12,000 men to quickly kill David, securing Absalom's power before he could receive outside help. His motive. Some commentators suggest Ahithophel had his own ambitions and hoped to seize the throne himself after eliminating David. Rejection. Absalom rejected this advice, likely due to its lack of appeal to his vanity and desire for the approval of the people. Hushai's counsel. The plan. Hushai's advice was to gather all the Israelite forces under Absalom's command to show his might and to delay the attack, which was a move designed to buy time for David. His motive. David had sent Hushai to Jerusalem specifically to frustrate the counsel of Ahithophel, making his advice a counter strategy to save David. Acceptance. Absalom accepted Hushai's advice, believing it was better, which led directly to the rejection of the superior strategy. Divine providence, God's will. Commentaries emphasize that God was behind Absalom's rejection of the wiser counsel to defeat the rebellion. Answering prayer. This is seen as an answer to David's prayer for intervention from 2 Samuel chapter 15, verse 31. Consequences. The rejection of Ahithophel's advice ultimately led to a suicide as he realized the plan would fail. It also set the stage for Absalom's defeat and death. Okay, everybody. Well, I think this would be, like a Netflix special in and of itself. You know what I mean? A whole series on King David and his son Absalom and all the drama there. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, there you have it. There's a lot of drama. Let's see if there's anything else. Um, do, 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 do. I don't know. Maybe we should leave it there. I guess I'm kind of, I'm getting in the bad habit of doing these late at night, like after midnight when I'm tired. Oh, but yeah, I just think of when I read that passage, I mean, I guess I just think of King David's heart and how broken he must have felt, And I wonder if he wrote any psalms during this time, although he was kind of running for his life, so I don't know if he would be writing psalms, but I mean, I wonder, let me see. Well, no, that's okay. That's a study for another time, I guess. But I just think about his heart and how it must have been broken, you know, by the betrayal and just the mess, really. And yet, as we read, I mean, it's really messy, but as we read at the end of Revelation, okay, now I want to read that again. It's Revelation chapter. Not, I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but just that part I'm referencing in Revelation chapter 22. So let me go to that. Do 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 do. Okay. Hold on, I'm looking. Do 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 do. Where was it? I'm scrolling. I want to find. Do 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 do. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's Revelation 22, and it's verse 16. Yeah. So just think about what we've been reading about the house of David and King David. And this is verse 16 in the final chapter in the last book of the Bible in the New Testament. Verse 16, Revelation 22. I, Yeshua, Jesus. Well, I mean, Jesus' name is Yeshua, so let me start over. I messed that up. I, Yeshua, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. Isn't that, it is I speaking, not the Bible, but isn't that interesting how, I mean, he's the offspring of David, King David, the Messiah, God incarnate. And yet, as we're reading, David's family was full of dysfunction. Somehow it's comforting to me. I don't know if it is to you. Well, I hope you all are doing okay and keeping you all in prayer. Ollie and Stan are just extraordinarily gifted at listening, and it's a luxury. It feels like luxurious when someone really listens to you attentively, and I feel like that's what Ollie and Stan give. So I want to thank you, Ollie and Stan, um, for listening. Um, and Ollie, I hope to learn more about your background because it's utterly fascinating. What an incredibly royal lineage you have. Um, as I mentioned earlier, he said he was related to this very famous tiger in India. And Stan, I don't know much about you, but I know you've got something equally impressive in your background. Okay, everybody. Oh man. We went from like reading the truth of God's word to me just totally making up some stuff about stuffed animals. Anyway, let's say a prayer. Lord, thank you for your word. I pray that we would be able to learn what you would have us learn from this history of King David and your word. that you've had recorded for us, so that we can learn and and yeah, just give us wisdom. I pray for my friends out there who are watching and listening. Pray that you meet their needs, Lord, that you provide for them miraculously. If they need a miracle, you would give them a miracle, Lord. I pray that for strength for anyone out there who needs strength, for us. I pray for strong spirits and for boldness and for their own strategy, that you would give them, well, that you would protect them and keep them safe. And if they need a strategy, that you would provide that for for safety or protection or whatever they need from your hand, Lord. I pray you lead them. And for anyone out there who's sick, I pray you bring healing. We know that we're in the last days. That's not contestable, really, biblically, because the last day started at the cross. But I do believe we're in the very last days. So I pray, Lord, for joy and strength and perseverance. And pray for your return, Messiah, because you will make all things right. And I pray for more energy and, I don't know, less fatigue. Help me with my sleep hygiene. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah. Thank you for touching my life. Amen. All right, everybody. Thank you, Ollie Benjamin Daniel Jonah. And thank you, Stan. And Stan wants to say something again, and he would like to make some biscuits. Oh, oh, that's sweet, Stan. Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet. Um, he just said that he loved everybody and that he was now going to take a nap. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody, or good morning.